Hello and welcome back to Bloodborne with myself, Hollow. With the release of Dark Souls 1, the remaster, around the corner, I'm going to be going through Bloodborne once again, live, for the first time in years. And we're going to beat the whole game in one quick go, with streams every day until I do it. And we're going to beat the DLC as well, of course. We're going to be doing an Arcane playthrough. We're going to make our character right now.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get started.
Pale blood. Well, you've come to the right place. Yharnam is the home of blood ministration. You need only unravel its mystery. But where's an outsider like yourself to begin? Easy, with a bit of Yharnam blood of your own. But first, you'll need a contract.
I'm not a noble. Cruel fate? Possible. Now, chat, when I think of you, I think you would only be one class, right? There's only one class right here that I think of you, right? Ordinary, happy upbringing, all attributes, average. That is definitely, chat. That is definitely not you. You're a waste of skin. Anyway, I'm going with Cruel Fate because it starts with 14 Arcane and it's like the Arcane start. Alright, I think we're good. Good to go. So, he's called Dave's Fist. He's a male. He's young, supposed to be aged. There you go. Cruel Fate, that's the sorcerer build setup, gives you 14 arcane to begin, and that's gonna be it. Finalize that sweet contract, baby. Show me more cinematic. Get some little like white baby looking ghost dudes and crawl around. It's gonna be great.
Good. All signed and sealed. Now, let's begin the transfusion. Oh, don't you worry. Whatever happens, you may think it all a mere bad dream.
Oh, that's a topical joke! Well funny. That's well funny. It's because we use dreams and stuff in this game. We also use nightmares. Low 5. Ah, shit. I forgot. My low 5 causes my receiver of low 5 to burn.
You found yourself a hunter.
And there's already so much to talk about, so I don't want to get too overwhelmed with it, but I want to pose some questions. Why is it I just heard the doll's voice? Obviously, I've just linked myself to the Hunter's Dream, which is why the messengers start appearing for us. And maybe why we hear the doll's voice. But we currently do not own or have any insight, so the doll should not be functional yet. It's just a little thing about how the doll is her own entity, let's say. Pitiful, really. I'll give that a fine. I'll give that a fine. It's a fine note. We have a little note here. Handwritten scroll. Seek the pale blood to transcend the hunt. Okay, so there you go. Every hunter receives a contract. That contract links them to the dream, and they are then able to infinitely revive themselves via the dream. That's how you respawn in this game, and they continuously do that until they fulfill their contract. There are some hunters out there who have completed their contract, so they cannot die any more than once. That's it, they're dead. We'll meet some of those later. Currently, we are unaware of any other hunters also on a contract. It seems we are the only hunter out of the whole world currently that is currently still contracted. Oh god, I miss this game. Doors are still open. So, we're currently wearing the foreign garb, clothing worn upon awakening the nightmare of blood and beasts. So, we have woke to the horrible state of the world. It's not typical clothing for Yharnam, perhaps it is of foreign origin. It is said, after all, the traveller came to Yharnam from afar. Without memory, who will ever know? There's your indication that you currently are experiencing, well, hardcore amnesia. You have no idea who you are, where you are, what's going on. You've just been thrust into this situation, and you know that you're an outsider. Perhaps by wearing this, the wearer tried to stay out of sight and travel by cover of darkness. We have the sullied bandages. Faint memory recalls blood administration involving the transfusion of unknown blood. We barely remember the actual transfusion there as well. And oh my goodness, it is a wolf. Chat, you think I can win? I think I can win. Come on, mate. Give it to me. What are you made of? You big dumb wolf. Shit. I need that slow attack. Oh! Yeah! Easy. Alright, all of you who voted yay or yes onto my potential at killing it first try without getting hit, you are fully correct, and I am a god. Obviously Poxel is wrong and has always been wrong, poor guy. But when we find like a super important item, I do want to look at the description of them. Oh, here it is. It's Yharnam, baby! What a cool concept. To be playing and moving around a ginormous, hustling, bustling city. We got some quicksilver bullets. We hear the bang of the church. Where are my bullets going? I wonder. I suppose it's because I've not been to the dream yet. This is a no weapon run, right? Yeah, we don't need weapons where we're going. Central Yharnam. We have the connecting bridge between the lower area of Yharnam and the upper plateau of Yharnam. It is interesting that the whole of Yharnam appears to be in a ginormous deep valley. And so they've sectioned off the lower class side to the lower plateau and the upper class side to the higher plateau. Because maximum scumbag. Die, did you just say? That's not very nice. So the main thing that I want to reference is the fact that everything that we are currently seeing is all under a mask. Everything that we're seeing right now is under a filter of sanity, I guess. You know, I talked about it yesterday in my little test stream. If you're walking down the street and you see someone walking their dog, what do you see? Well, you see a person, a shape, and the shape of a dog. And then you go, that's a human, that's a dog, that person's walking their dog. Scream from behind. That is an assumption. Maybe you get closer and you find out, oh, that's a girl and she's not walking a dog. She's walking, I don't know, a large cat. You just assumed it was a dog because that's more logical than walking a cat. Why is that cat so big? You just made an assumption. Everything that we're seeing right now is not necessarily what it actually is. We're under a mask. A big-ass scream from behind did not actually come from the bridge. It came from right behind us. Over there by that cathedral-looking building. The lamp now transports you back to the Hunter's Dream. Upon death, you awaken at this lamp. And we have this lamp of incense and some coffin.
Oh, you must be a hunter. And not one from around here either. I'm Gilbert, a fellow outsider. You must have had a fine time of it. Yarnum has a special way of treating guests. Well, I don't think I could stand if I wanted to, but I'm willing to help if there's anything that can be done. This town is cursed. Whatever your reasons might be, you should plan a swift exit. Whatever can be gained from this place, it will do more harm than good.
Interesting that an outsider has a place of residence and it is barred and chained up. You know, he was here before the nightmare began, I assume. And it's quite a nice place. And he found the keys and locks, or did he own it? I'm not sure.
Pale blood, you say? Never heard of it. But if it's blood you're interested in, you should try the Healing Church. The church controls all knowledge on blood ministration and all varieties of blood. Across the valley to the east of Yarnum lies the town of the Healing Church, known as the Cathedral Ward. And deep within Cathedral Ward is the old Grand Cathedral, the birthplace of the Healing Church's special blood, or so they say. Yarnumites don't share much with outsiders. Normally they wouldn't let you near the place, but the hunt is on tonight. This might be your chance.
The dude doesn't even know us and immediately wants to help us. Why is he so forthcoming with help straight away? He doesn't know much about pale blood, never heard of it, but he does point us in the direction of the church since they study blood. They have things to do with blood. And just simple as that, you're given a lot of information, a lot of context, and a little objective.
Across the valley to the east of Yarnum, you'll find the Cathedral Ward. Deep within lies the old main cathedral, said to be the source of blood. I haven't heard of pale blood, but that's your best bet if it's anything to do with unique types of blood.
And of course the reason that we mention pale blood to him is because that's the contract we have been given. We will remain a hunter and remain stuck and touched to the dream, attached to the dream until we complete our contract. And we need to, well, we need to find the pale blood, whatever that is. Welcome home! The Firelink Shrine of Bloodborne, the Hunter's Dream. They really like to do this specific thing from software where it's like these random shapes. They like to do these weird long cylinder shapes that just reach out of the floor. You can never see where it begins or why it's even there. I guess it makes more sense in a weird dream to see something like this, but you did see something like this in Dark Souls 2 when you were heading to the Eyrie, the Dragon Eyrie. You got a beautiful sight of a luscious green forest and these massive rocks piled on top of each other until they reach the heights of the clouds and even up above. And it turns out those were the nests for the dragons. Although they were more like drakes. Here she is, the doll. An abandoned doll. It's the fact that she speaks to us before active, before we have any insight, that is very important, I feel. The messenger offers you a trick weapon. Choose one. Trick weapons are wielded by the right hand and employed in beast hunting. I will be going with the hunter's axe today, because I don't like getting the saw. The reason I don't like the saw is pretty simple. You can get a saw spear very early in the game, and it's about as good, if not better. The messengers offer you a firearm. Choose one. Obviously, hunter pistol. What am I, a degenerate with a blunderbuss? No. I'm a cool guy with a pistol. And an online item. The notebook. Let's have a quick look at some of these items. I keep doing that because it's different UI in this game. The notebook. Messengers are inhabitants of the dream who revere the brave hunters. Use them to send messages to other worlds. I love that the actual lore of the messengers is that they're kind of just like fanboys and fangirls of hunters. Leave notes with messengers. Read the notes left to messages in other worlds. Blah blah. It's an online item. Not too crazy interesting. Then we have the axe. One of the trick weapons of the workshop, commonly used on the hunt, retains the qualities of an axe, but offers a wider palette of attacks by transforming. Boasts a heavy blunt attack, leading to high rally potential. No matter their past, beasts are no more than beasts. Some choose this axe to play the part of executioner. And the hunter pistol, made in the workshop for hunters stalking beasts. Hunter firearms are specially crafted to employ quicksilver bullets fused with the wielder's own blood, boosting damage against beasts, aka blood tinge. The pistol is a quicker draw than the blunderbuss, allowing for speedier responses to the attacks. It's just parrying, but faster. Chat, you're the messengers. Yeah, I like that thought. Hey, who are you, old man?
Aha. You must be the new hunter. Welcome to the hunter's dream. This will be your home for now. I am Gehrman.
Barely remembers his name.
To you hunters, you're sure to be in a fine haze about now, but don't think too hard about all of this. Just go out and kill a few beasts. It's for your own good. You know, it's just what hunters do. You'll get used to it.
He's offering me some good advice for an outsider hunter. Doesn't know what the hell's going on. He just says, just go with it. You'll be alright. I want you to think about the fact that we don't know who gave us the contract to do this in the first place. My opinion that it was Gehrman, because of what's revealed at the end of the game and the source of this dream. He needs someone to free him from this prison. Or he'll free us from this prison. We kind of have a little ultimatum, the pair of us. But the question is, who gave us the contract in the first place? Why did they infuse an outsider with the Beast Bloods? I don't know. I like to think it's to do with Gehrman.
This was once a safe haven for hunters. A workshop where hunters used blood to enhance their weapons and flesh. We don't have as many tools as we once did, but you're welcome to use whatever you find. Even the doll, should it please you.
I'm just... Yeah, even the doll. You know, if it pleases you, even the doll. This is Tony in game, by the way, because Tony literally just suggested the same thing. So from now on, Tony, Gehrman is you. All right, I'm referring to him as Tony. All right, looks like we've exhausted his dialogue there. So we have the Hunter Workshop, some different stuff here. Unfortunately, we don't have too much in the way of tools, but we do have some to work with. We can reinforce our weapons, we can repair them. And that's currently it. There is more to this place, but I currently don't have the tools to use them. To escape this dreadful hunter's dream, halt the source of the spreading scourge of beasts, lest the night carry on forever. That's a note left by Hunter. Just a simple objective. You know, there are different contracts out there. It's probably the case that most hunters were contracted to destroy beasts. Destroy a certain amount of beasts. Keep the night back for one more night, you know. A lot going on. This stump appears to link to the nightmare, but there are no messengers. Something we'll unlock a little bit later. Yharnam messenger hat. Oh, right, we get it right now. Give accessories to messengers and they will obediently adorn them. We're going to give them the sweet top hat. Yeah, oh, it's not a top hat. It's just a little cowboy hat. Alright, we'll give them cowboy hats. That's you, chat, remember. Don't forget. You're those guys. Hat the messengers are oddly fond of, commonly called a Yharnam hat. The inhabitants of the stump appear to have an interest in adornment. Why not let them be happy and revel as babes? Alright, you better be reveling, chat. You better be feeling good about it. Or not anytime soon. This is the Hunter's Axe. It's one of the 3 Pokemons. This is the fire type that you can choose. Electricity, that would be the cane. And water would be the saw blade, obviously. It's one of the greatest weapons for a noob because it has this insane power attack that has really good range and a double spin and a stagger effect on it, all in one move. It's pretty cool. It's one of my favorites because I do like me a transforming axe. Don't you mean grass? Electricity? New? Ah! Well, it's been revealed now, hasn't it? That I'm actually not much of a Pokemon guy. I'm sorry, chat. It's true, it's not electricity. It's actually grass type. Fine, grass type, whatever, the cane, you get it. That hurt my inner Pokemon nerd. I'm sorry. Look, I'm clearly not a Pokemon guy. Pimpcane is just the best. It's actually, I know you're not saying it for that reason, but Pimpcane is the weakest by far of the 3 weapons you can choose from. Because it's like a really high scaling weapon, all about skill. Of which I have much skill, obviously. Yeah, it's all about skill and scaling with skill. And it starts, obviously, you know, unupgraded. So it scales poorly with skill to begin with until it's upgraded, which you don't get at the early game. And, of course, you don't have much skill because you're low level. So the cane is by far and away the worst weapon out of the 3. Because right at the beginning, its raw power and potential is very limited. Very, very weak. That does not mean by any, you know, stretch of the imagination that the weapon is bad full stop forever. It just means out of the early game choices, it's the weakest one. Ah. The Streets of Yharnam. I have a unique perspective on the game, having done like a YouTube playthrough that I spent 3 months working on. Each area that I go through is like a new chapter for me. And I remember episode 2 was titled something like The Streets of Yharnam or something like that. I remember doing the thumbnail for it. Alright, you sneaky devil. You're a foul beast. You're a foul beast! One drawback of this weapon is its poor recovery time. As you saw there, I got hit. The entire time I was spamming dodge after I swung. But I still got hit, unfortunately. And the attack time is quite slow between swings. We have some more of this incense outside of a door.
Laziov, come on. Who'd open their door on a night of a hunt? Away with you. Now.
I don't know, but open the door. Hello?
Laziov, come on. Who'd open their door on a night of a hunt? Away with you.
Alright, I'm sorry. I love you. I love you. My true love has rejected me. It's alright, it's not the first time. And there's your blood shard. My first one. Oh my, I'm looking at system. Alright, let's have a look. A solid shard that forms in cold blood. After death, a substance in the blood hardens, and that which does not crystallize is called a bloodstone. At the workshop, these bloodstones are embedded in weapons to fortify them. Isn't it a strange looking thing? If it doesn't crystallize, but in fact hardens, it can be used on weapons to enhance them. It looks like a weird form of DNA to me. Hello, getting real for a second there. Yeah. Yeah. It's the drawback of being a white nerd, do you know what I mean? You're just not that cool. Just not that cool. Boom. Boom. Alright, moving on in. We can see this strange site where there is a lot of Yharnamites gathering around. A big-ass beast. So it appears. Just making sure to use Rally to heal myself. They're all gathered around this big beast. Much more pronounced than the weird ones we fought. The one that we saw in the cinematic and the one that we fought when we exited the clinic. It's a lot bigger than that, and they're burning it. It's your first little indication, or little note, I guess, that's just like, hey, the Yharnamites are burning beasts. Maybe you should give that a try. The reason that they burn them is because, well, they're quite weak to them. Quite weak to fire. Taking your drugs today? I haven't, actually. Damn, I was really hoping that the swing forward would move me further forward than it did. Just gonna quickly line of sight. Line of sight the gun guy by using this carriage. Hey, mate. Into the fire with you. Oh, it doesn't work like that. What do you know? I'm pretty sure I've sent people into that fire before. I thought I could shove him in. Stop shooting me, nerd. Alright, can I squeeze by you guys? Ah, my foot. Shot me right in the foot. Come on then. Come get it. Thank you very much for the donation, Elikami. Appreciate it. And Zippy for the £1 as well. Missed that apparently. Zippy, thanks for the £1. Wait, since when is the stump linked to the nightmare? Also just doing this to get that top D spot back. Rip. Rip. That's too bad, man. Well, we don't want to get too into it, but it turns out the dream is actually the nightmare. It's the same thing. Check out this big-ass ominous door. I remember this scaring the hell out of me. It's interesting to know how thin that bar is that's preventing the person from getting through on the other side, whatever it is. We have this new item here, Cold Blood Dew. A droplet of cold blood containing blood echoes. You can use it to gain blood echoes. Look at a little drop on blood. Hunters sustained by the dream gain strength from blood echoes. They imbibe the blood with thoughts of reverence, indeed gratitude. for the victims. Because every victim of a hunter increases the hunter's strength. The more blood they drench themselves in, the stronger they get. But at the cost of their sanity. It's very easy to find yourself delighting in blood a little bit too much if you're a hunter. More incense, a lot of laughter.
I don't reckon you're from round here. Well, stuck outside on a night of the hunt. Oh, you poor, poor thing.
Interestingly, the first guy that would not open his door to us simply refused because it's the hunt and it's dangerous to let... if you open the door for 1 second, that could be the end of your life. So that's fair enough, you know, he's just keeping himself safe. Meanwhile, these ladies here laughing like mad. They won't let me in because it's funny that I'm probably going to die out here.
I don't reckon you're from where.
Not so sane. Not so kind. There's a little drop down over here in the way. But I'm going to go a different way real quick. I'm going to go see what's on the other side of that door. Brrr! That's what you sound like. Get some strength in you, lad. You're weak as hell. Pathetic. Brrr. Alright, got some items. Got a sweet torch. It helps me light the way. Kapow. And it does great damage to beasts. This is fire-based. And we also got some shining coins. Various coins that are particularly luminous. There are very few uses for spare change during the hunt. Yeah, no one cares about your currency. But these will serve as guides through the darkness. Or, if one could save them until morning. If that ever comes. These are one of my favorite items in Bloodborne. I actually believe they're better than the Dark Souls version. There's something really pretty about just throwing the coin down and seeing this little white flare. You can use them generally like breadcrumbs. If you're lost in a convoluted area, you can throw them down so that you know which way you've been. I like that concept. Jumping kill! And the precious oil urn. When this urn hits its mark, the target is drenched in oil, making it extremely flammable. Fire is commonplace on the hunt, and oil urns extenuate its effects. Sometimes, when hunters burn beasts, they appear intoxicated by the euphoria of purification. Or they're just not good people. And we can hear this little faint sound. Can you hear that? It's a little sound of a music box in that building there. And there's some incense. Sadly, I can't open the gate from this side. I need to find a different way. It's quite a nice song, isn't it? Did you get me? Oh, oh, oh. We're getting hit through walls. Getting shot through staircases. It's a rough time for Dave's Fist. Ooh, nearly. I wanted to do this. Show that they get stunned by guns, the dogs. Making them significantly easier. Sadly, my targeting reticle didn't swap to him in time. You will note there's a system in this game where when you pick up too many of an item, so you know you've got a hard limit, like I can only carry 20 blood vials at this moment in time. That's ominous. That chest icon will appear over some items. It's just because it's going to my my chest in the Hunter's Dream. So I will be able to restock based on how many items I actually have of that type hidden away in my Hunter's chest. Oh, that was nearly right on the mark. There, good enough, good enough. Hit it. Now, unfortunately, the swing of the axe is quite slow. I wanted to get a visceral, but apparently the wake-up time is just too slow. Alright, let's get it. Good enough. Fighting two of those at once is just horrible, no matter who you are at this stage of the game, you know, it's just scary. There's a lot of attacks that are sent out at you. They can swing really quick. The damage they do is, you know, ginormous. On the offensive again. Probably don't need to do the two-hand. They stagger for a moment, but their recovery after a stagger is quite fast. So I just need to make sure I keep some stamina so I can roll away, or dodge away in this game. As much as I love, like, the rolling mechanic of Dark Souls, I can't help myself but love the dash in this game. It's just so cool looking. Like, sure, you can roll when you're not locked onto anything, but when you are locked on and you do the dash, 10 out of 10. More blood shards. Good. We will be saving our blood shards. I'll upgrade this to a +1, but I won't send it more than that, just so I can save my shards for a different purpose later down the line. Have a little way down here. I'll tweet you some photos on Twitter later tonight and put them in the Discord. Awesome, Alchemy. I'm looking forward to it. I'm so jealous. I mean, it's probably quite the surprise to randomly find yourself with, what was it, 7 baby rabbits? But at the same time, I don't care, man. If I randomly get, you know, 7 baby rabbits thrust upon my life, I'm not going to complain about it. I'm going to be quite happy about it. Alright, so we have a hidden drop down area there. We have a drop down to the area we were in before. So we've got a couple of options hidden away. 2 of them. Or we can just progress through the bridge. Those of you who are just trying to make, like, progress as fast as possible, it would make sense to just, you know, keep going down the bridge. Ultimately, you've been pointed towards this section of the city by our friendly fellow in the house. And you just want to make progress and go do what you can do. Find the pale blood. So you could miss a lot of the hidden areas right off the bat, because you've been given an objective and you're trying to get towards it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. My mum's selling those baby rabbits I showed you, just saying. Oh, Tony. Don't tempt me like that. I wonder what transporting, like, a baby rabbit would be like. I don't think it would be good for a rabbit to be in a plane or anything, really. Alright, be quiet, chat. Very quiet, he's sleeping. This is actually the exact same model as the guy who gives you the transfusion. Gives you the beast blood. I'm not saying this is the guy, because there's quite a lot of these characters out there that look just like this. But I do wonder, who was the guy that gave us... Who gave us that blood transfusion in the first place? Who was he and why did he give it to us? Pungent blood cocktail. Ooh. Spicy. Put that in a cocktail, Tony. Mature blood cocktail that releases a pungent odor when thrown that attracts bloodthirsty beasts. A precious tool in sadly short supply. In Yharnam, they produce more blood than alcohol, as the former is more intoxicating. More intoxicating than alcohol. Disgusting. When the hunt began, the healing church left us, blocking the great bridge to the cathedral ward, as old Yharnam burned to the ground. The moonlight lit night. The first night that the hunt began, the healing church abandoned its citizens and set alight the city in fire. Everyone innocent, beast or human. It didn't matter. They burned it all down, and everyone in it. And for the first time, I guess that's the point where they sectioned off, as mentioned earlier, they sectioned off the town, the city. God, I love this guy. I love this guy so much. Remember the fact that these guys are basically just like fanboy and fangirls of the hunters. All they want to do is just help them. And they're almost sort of obsessed with the hunters to a degree. They come across as just harmless little gormless guys. And I think this guy really reinforces that concept. Because look at him. His role is, oh, I'm the shopkeeper of the dream. I'm going to be a shopkeeper. And he's like thought about what shopkeepers do. And he's probably seen some shopkeepers. And he's seen them talking and doing this with their hands. And it's like he's just basically playing at being a shopkeeper. He's kind of weirdly adorable. Alright, so we can actually sell stuff here as well. He currently sells blood vials, which are very useful. The bullets, of course. Cocktails, also very useful. And some pebbles. It is not a great amount of things, really. That's currently what he sells. But he also sells the Yharnam Hunter set. Ludwig, the first hunter of the Healing Church, once recruited Yharnamites to serve as hunters. This hunter's attire was made for new recruits and has excellent straightforward defense, but not nearly enough to allow an ordinary man to stand any real chance against the beasts. The first hunter was Gehrman, using a mix of speed and skill and lack of armor to maintain an agile sort of combat style. But Ludwig was the first hunter of the Healing Church. He was the guy that sort of founded the Healing Church and started pulling in inexperienced randoms from the civilization of Yharnam and put them in some gear, gave them some weapons, sent them out into the night. Hey, here's some old blood. It just makes you a bit strong, and you've got to go kill some beasts. A lot of them died, and those that didn't, well, a lot of them went mad, reveling in their power, getting stronger at every kill, starting to forget what they're supposed to kill. Beasts, not really their main objective anymore. Ooh. But this weapon is mostly built, like it even says in its description, it's built around rally. Rally is the mechanic that allows you, when you get hit, it gives you this brief window to strike back and rip blood out of the opponent and restore your own. It's only in Bloodborne. So the point of the Arcane build, once again, is hidden knowledge, rare knowledge. It is a new player anti-build. Like, you're supposed to be an experienced player to do a successful and proper Arcane build, to have hidden knowledge and rare knowledge, such as what the boss you're fighting is weak to, and how to kill it in an extremely effective, almost broken way. We'll be cheese killing a lot of bosses with Arcane based gameplay. It's not just about magic. I've missed two. Oh, I've actually got hit twice. I've missed free. Don't look at me, chat. Oh, 4. Okay. I missed 4. Wow, that's bad. And I got hit 3 times. It's alright. It's alright, chat. I've made some mistakes. Oh, you sneaky devil. Come on. Oh, you devil. You know what? I've had enough of you. Sit down. Bye. There you go. It wasn't clean. It was pretty bad, actually. Are you sure you don't want to change the stream title to blind playthrough? Thanks, chat. Thanks. Experienced player? Thanks. Thanks, chat. You jerks. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. I had a really strong feeling. I did a little test stream yesterday, just up to this boss, and did that, just to make sure everything was working correctly. And I got hit once, didn't have to use a single vial, didn't miss a single... Well, I missed one cocktail, actually, and killed it in very, very fast time. Just absolutely decimated it. And I had a feeling, like, it's not going to go that well, is it? In the actual stream. The reason I was having issue landing the Molotovs is because I accidentally aimed at the head with the targeting system. Meaning I was throwing the cocktails high and it would fly over him when he's moving around swinging. In the original attempt, I was probably targeting the body, which meant that the cocktails were thrown at a lower sort of level and not missing. So that was my mistake. Entirely on me, and that's fine. Oh look, the doll's active. I saw that monstrous huge beast and gained insight, and then I defeated it and gained even more insight. Suddenly, the doll is active, and she does not function, she's not active until you have 1 insight. So, it's almost as if I can see her true form, or that she's like active, but in reality it's just a doll sat there on the stone.
Hello, good hunter. I am a doll, here in this dream to look after you. Honorable hunter, pursue the echoes of blood, and I will channel them into your strength. You will hunt beasts, and I will be here for you to embolden your sickly spirit.
You can use blood echoes to raise your stats and level up.
Very well. Let the echoes become your strength. Let me stand close. Now shut your eyes.
No. What are you doing? I like the visual for that. For the menu, you can see it. Okay. So, with an Arcane playthrough, I'm of course going to do this, but all the Arcane does is give me discovery on items, and also increase my physical defense slightly, and slightly improve my my fire damage on the torch, which is kind of interesting. For the time being, though, I'm just going to level some vitality and some endurance. It's always a reasonable stat to get. I'm probably going to go 15-15 on that and start leveling arcane. We actually have an arcane weapon.
Did you speak with Gehrman? He was a hunter long, long ago, but now serves only to advise them. He is obscure, unseen in the dreaming world. Still, he stays here, in this dream. Such is his purpose.
In a way, she bait and switches us there. She gives us some information about Gehrman, but not the whole truth.
Ah, the little ones, inhabitants of the dream.
The messengers.
They find hunters like yourself, worship and serve them. Speak words they do not. But still, aren't they sweet?
She was the first... I think she was the first thing that made me think about the messengers as kind of cute. And just kind of dopey and friendly. Because they're horrifying to look at. I mean, come on.
Ah. Farewell, good hunter. May you find your worth in the waking world.
God damn. Such a line. But she's right. I mean, look at them. All they're doing is circling around an item and sort of bringing me in, beckoning me in. Hey, we got a gift for you. Consume insight and ring the beckoning bell to enlist the cooperation of hunters from other worlds. Silencing blanks ends such forms of cooperation. This is the online items of the beckoning bell and the silencing blank. You do jolly cooperation with that. It's basically like the white soapstone in a way. And then we have the old hunter bell as well. We found this after we defeated the boss, the Sword Hunter Badge. One of the badges crafted by the Healing Church. The silver sword is a symbol of a church hunter. Ludwig was the first of many Healing Church hunters to come, many of whom were clerics. As it was, clerics transformed into the most hideous beasts, the cleric beasts. So, a couple of things to think about. Ludwig, the first Healing Church hunter. Gehrman was the original hunters. The original hunters were taught and made and looked after by Gehrman, the ultimate original hunter. Eventually, he was shoved to the side, not really succeeding in his purpose, at least to the eyes of the people who shoved him and his order to the side, and started making their own order of the church hunters who were inexperienced and given something called the Old Blood to give them strength. And that caused the worst of the beasts, the thing they're supposed to be dealing with, the thing they're supposed to be... Their whole purpose is to prevent beasts and get rid of beasts. They started making their own version, an even worse version than the old hunter bell. Look at that. It's got like weird... It's like... got like Fred coming out of it. It's kind of weird to look at. One of the resonated bells that crosses the gaps of worlds. This bell is cracked and stained with blood of beasts. A human must expend insight to ring this uncanny bell, and the old hunters who have long passed from the dream but cannot forget the feeling of the hunt rely upon messengers to relay their thoughts. Ring the bell at their side and they are certain to give a listen, for the night of the hunt is long and unchanging.
Yes, I see. But the Great Bridge is the only way to the Cathedral Ward.
I like this is like an actual back and forth
during
conversation.
the hunt, the bridge is closed. You could try the aqueduct. There's a rather, how shall I put it, colourful area south of the Great Bridge. From there, an aqueduct leads to the Cathedral Ward. Not a place you'd normally want to visit, but I don't imagine you have much of a choice, do you?
Not really. Once again, offering really, really useful advice. We've gone exactly where he thought we should across the bridge, but it's blocked off. He doesn't know what we've done to find that information out, killing a cleric beast ourselves, but he does know that we're stuck and he wants to help. So the aqueducts are a way under to sneak our way to the other side of this city. Hopefully we can find that.
An aqueduct, not a place you'd not much of it.
Alright, thanks for the advice, dude. I could have upgraded my weapon more, but like I say, I'm saving my shards for better upgrades on a different weapon. For the Arcane. We need to start leveling Arcane basically right away. Let's unlock this other passage past these two lumbering oafs. Ooh, interesting. Again. Or am I getting that timing wrong? It's alright, he's done. Just on that specific attack, I seem to be missing the parry. What are you doing, little doggy? Little beast? It's interesting that despite the incense burner being right there, the dog is unfazed. I guess it's because it's not technically a beast and it doesn't have any old blood in it. It's just a dog that's gone somewhat mangy and wild because of the circumstance. Wow. Dogs should never be taken lightly, man, in any of these games.
You're a hunter, aren't you? Then, well, do you know of any safe places?
Sadly, I do not know any safe place currently.
I've heard I have. Shutting up indoors isn't always enough. Well, if you hunters got off your asses, you wouldn't be in this mess. You're obligated to help me, you hear? So what'll it be? Are you going to tell me you're not?
I currently don't have an answer, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I should have known. You're good for nothing. No respect for the elderly is what that is. Yeah. That little good you outsiders do. Go on, admit it. You think we're all mad, don't you?
Yeah, you are.
Well, go and stop it. I know all your tricks.
So she hates outsiders the same way that the mad guys outside that we're having to kill in defense are, you know, they hate us. Simply because we're an outsider. I like the fact that it references other outsiders have obviously encountered her. Got the windows there, the way they're lit up. Very cool. I like the fact that it references that, you know, other outsiders have made it kind of clear to her, in her experience, that they think she's a little bit mad. In fact, not just her, but Yarnamites in general. An item hidden here on this guy. What's my wide swing? I think it's probably R1. Yeah, looks like I need to do it from this side. There we go. Free up that item. And the reason that outsiders have started to sort of act like, well, you Yarnamites are a bit mad, aren't you? Is because they've been living here under this strange rule that when the hunt begins, the city starts killing one another. It's almost like the purge. It begins purging itself. That's normal here. And the personalities of the people here are quite insane to a certain degree. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot. There's this L2 attack that you can do with weapons that I've not been doing when you can two-hand a weapon. Yeah, to a certain degree, they're doing this purge. They're all kind of mad. It's the fact that they're influenced greatly by their circumstance and other details. Their gods, the great ones. they're not all normal people. They're unhinged. So outsiders come here and, yeah, they integrate themselves as hunters or people who work here, live here, but they're very aware that this society is at a core level something wrong with it. But we finally find someone out here.
Oh. A hunter, are you? And an outsider? What a mess you've been caught up in. And tonight of all nights. Here, to welcome the new hunter.
The Bald Hunter's Mark. An extremely useful item.
Prepare yourself for the worst. There are no humans left. They're all flesh-hungry beasts now.
And some good advice too. The Bald Hunter's Mark. Dangling, upside-down rune etched in the mind of a hunter. This image upon this parchment allows one to envisage the rune with clarity. Allows a hunter to awaken again without losing blood echoes. A trick that seems nearly too good to be true, which is why it's consumed when you use it. We're going to get into the details of the marks, the runes, how they work, and different powers they have. But we're going to have to wait until we find the rune that's relevant to that from the witch.
Still lingering about. What's wrong? A hunter unnerved by a few beasts. No matter. Without fear in our hearts, we're little different from the beasts themselves.
God, she's so cool, man. It really is hugely impactful. You find your first NPC out in the night, and she does two things. She gives you some really good advice that it's not safe here, you shouldn't trust anyone. They're all beasts. They're all mad. There's no one left. Which is questionable, because, hey, what about you and me? You know, we're fine, right? And then there's some NPCs that we spoke to inside their houses. Aren't they okay? Right? They're not. And she warns you of that right at the start. And she consoles you as well, calming your nerves.
What are you still doing here? Enough trembling in your boots. A hunter must hunt.
And almost treats us like she's our mother. And we're shirking our responsibilities. I love it. I love it. She is one of the best characters in the game. Not only does she look so goddamn cool, man, but she's just immediately really kind and useful to you. I think she's great. And we get our first gesture. One of my favorites. The shake it off. I used to think you could use this gesture, and what it would do is get rid of the blood that's on you, like you'd wipe it off. But it does not work like that. I don't know what made me think it did.
What are you still...
Alright. Thank you for the advice. Thank you for the really great item, the Hunter's Mark. Allowing us to transport ourselves back to the dream, back to safety, having lost nothing. Very useful. But very kind of her too. That's an item that she probably does not want to part with. But without a second thought, a random person she doesn't know passes it along to me. Without a second thought, really. One of the best characters in the game. One of the best NPC storylines. That's the thing about Bloodborne. And a fair comment. The game is shorter compared to the other Dark Souls based games. And you see that mostly in the NPC stories. I would argue that the NPC stories in Bloodborne might even be the best NPC storylines out of all the Soulsborne games. But just like the rest of this wonderful game, it's all too short. Every NPC storyline is cut short so quickly. It's all occurring and ending quite quickly. Rapidly. You know, you get to see, oh, here's this character, here's their story, and it's over. Surprise attack! Spine inspection. Looks fine, mate. Looks fine. You're all good. Your spine definitely was intact before the inspection. Maybe you should get that checked out. Where are you from? 1 second, I think you're American. The next, British, Aussie. I've never had someone say that I sound remotely American, to be honest. I'm English. I was born in Northern England. I've lived there my whole life. I spend a bit too much time on the internet, so my accent's not very strong from where I'm from, which is Yorkshire. I definitely don't have a strong Yorkshire accent, and for that I'm grateful. And there you have it, the Saw Spear. An unbelievably strong and reliable item. Honestly, you could go through the entire game using that, and there'd be nothing wrong with it. And it has a special effect on it as well, which we might be able to read about. One of the trick weapons of the workshop, commonly used by those who dedicate themselves to the hunt. So a common hunter weapon. This saw, effective at drawing the blood of beasts, transforms into a medium-range spear. The saw, with its set of bloodletting teeth, has become a symbol of the hunt, and only grows in effectiveness the more grotesquely transformed the beast, i.e., it is serrated, and serrated weapons do roughly 20% more damage than non-serrated weapons to beasts. It has a passive beast increased damage bonus. It's very good. The Saw Spear and the Saw Cleaver are both extremely reliable weapons due to that passive. Oh, they both survived. A passive effect. And our first Madman's Knowledge as well. Ooh, and a throwing knife. You sound Jamaican to me. Well, I'm afraid you, sir, need to have your ears checked. Oh, an item I almost missed. Yes, I've heard of the Miracle of Sound Bloodborne song. It's interesting that anytime I play any game that Miracle of Sound have done a song on, I'm asked about it quite a lot. I guess there's just a lot of respect for them as musicians. The Kane's whip form is also serrated. That's true. Haha! Nice job, asshole. He tried to stab me with his spear and just immediately fell off. How embarrassing. I think he survived the fall, unfortunately. Oh, he's coming back up. So as much as he's transformed into a beast, he's still sane enough to use ladders. Good for you, pal. Good for you. How big his neck is. So gangly and long. So I wanted to talk about how the Yharnamites call you a beast and a monster. And then you take a look at a Yharnamite, a classic Yharnamite walking around, doing the hunt, looking for beasts. The dude looks like a giant monstrous sort of half-beast. Gangly looking son of a gun. And he's walking around with people who look a lot more humanoid than him, and they're hunting beasts. To be honest, mate, maybe you should turn and look at your friend there. He's a bit of a beast, and not in a good way. In the, you know, the monster way. Maybe, I don't know, some awareness would be good. But then you take a look at the actual Yharnamites themselves, and they don't look so hot either. Take a look at that arm. It's got a little bit too much hair. In fact, it's fur. This right arm, normal sized arm. This left arm, Well, I don't know, dude. There's something wrong there, pal. They're all turning into beasts. And their sanity is a thing of the past. They're calling you a beast because you're an outsider, and people think outsiders are bringing about the scourge. Yeah, they think the outsiders are the reason for this horrible situation they're in. Oh, is there only one item to drop down onto? I could have sworn there was two. Oh, I know what it is. It's because I'm missing an item. I came back up here so I could drop and get those two items. I knew I was missing some rats. Perhaps they don't see themselves as beasts. So when someone sees them that isn't like them, i.e. not beast-like, they class you as a beast. That's pretty cool. I like that thought a lot, dude. Oh, you got a big jump. Oh, no sir. Yeah, very worth getting those bloodstone shards, 100%. Yeah, I really like that thought that they become so adjusted and so used to everyone looking like beasts that they don't even know what a beast even is anymore. Though, admittedly, they did, you know, right at the start, we did see them undisputably burning at the stake a big beast. A big wolf. Not quite a cleric beast, although it might have been one. I'm pretty sure it wasn't one. It was too small. I would say it was probably one of those average wolves that are a little bit bigger than, well, your average bear. Looks like thanks to that single upgrade we did, we're now able to one-shot these guys. Let's take a look at the description of Madman's knowledge. Now we've got a couple. Skull of a madman touched by the wisdom of the great ones, used to gain insight. Making contact with eldritch wisdom is a blessing, for even if it drives one mad, it allows one to serve a grander purpose for posterity. Could anyone tell me the definition of posterity, please? I'm not 100% sure. But, note the slug-looking symbol. That's what insight's supposed to be. I suppose that's like what they're saying is insight. And slugs is something you'll find quite a lot of. It's like a baby great one, but we'll get to that. Madness generally doesn't involve logic. Well, that's true. We can hear the music box again. Posterity is like the future. Right, so it's all for the interest of the future. Now, I don't want to get too much into the arms race and why it exists. But I guess that makes sense. It's ultimately the thought of Bergenworth and Willem. We're able to talk to the person inside with the music box.
Who are you? I don't know your voice, but I know that smell. Are you a hunter? And please will you look for my mum? Daddy never came back from the hunt, and she went to find him, but now she's gone too. I'm all alone and scared.
Okay, I'll look for your mother.
Really? Oh, thank you. My mum wears a red jeweled brooch. It's so big and beautiful. You won't miss it. Oh, I mustn't forget. If you find my mum, give her this music box.
The tiny music box. She's no longer able to... She gives up the one thing that's keeping her interested in the hope of helping her mother.
It plays one of Daddy's favourite songs. And when Daddy forgets us, we play it for him so he remembers. Mum's so silly running off without it.
When he forgets us, we play it and he remembers.
My mum wears a red jeweled brooch. It's so big and beautiful. You won't miss it. Oh, and if you find her, give her this music box. Please, I know you can do it.
She's entrusting us to search the city for her mother. And helps protect us in the same motion from her father. A small music box received from a young Yharnam girl plays a song shared by her mother and father. Inside the lid is a scrap of paper, perhaps an old message. 2 names can be read out, however faintly. Viola and Gascoigne. These are ghouls. I don't really understand how they came to be. They're very slow. Their legs are all but rotted and destroyed away. They've sort of melded in with the sewers here. You know, they're a threat, but thankfully they're too slow to really offer any danger to us as long as we can keep moving. Note the detail as well. I'm getting drenched in blood. Well, now I'm getting drenched in poo and muck. Now I'm in the sewers of the aqueduct. Disgusting. We also have some more ghouls and some crows here. These walls, I've always felt they could be illusion walls. They do look it. Just a perfectly smooth surface in an archway. But as far as I recall, there are no illusion walls in all the Bloodborne, except for maybe in the Chalice dungeons. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. Oh, Tak as well, gifting a sub, the same time of resubbing. Thank you. Mikkel, congrats, you've been gifted a free sub thanks to Technician. I really appreciate you doing that, Tak. The subs are, as I say, the lifeblood of the channel. They are very important. Let me keep doing this. And I really appreciate you sharing some of that kindness with someone else. Hope you enjoy the emotes, Mikhail. And thank you again, Tak. Maybe I'm the dung defender, yeah, covered in poo. An extra bloodstone shard for my efforts. I see you up there, little rapscallion. Doesn't seem interested. In fact, is this a passive crow? No. Okay. They're just waiting for the right spot to ambush you in. This leads up to the bridge, right? I'm gonna go have a look. I can't remember. Not a waste of skin? No, I'm playing the Cruel Fate starting class, which is, you know, the arcane one. Yeah, this is the bridge. Ah, yes, and this also unlocks the elevator shortcut. We might as well activate it. It's a shortcut that I can use at my leisure. Later on, should I need it. And another gifted sub. Thank you again, Tak. That's 3 subs. You and 2 for others. Pango, congrats. You've been gifted a free sub. Chat, are you ready? Punch. Butt inspection. Yep. Nice and healthy. Great job. You're doing a great job. Nice and healthy. That's a big bad. And it's not really a beast necessarily. I suppose you could class it as one. But it's not really that big a deal, honestly. And yet, notice the dead hunter in his hunter's garb. Despite it not being the worst thing for a hunter to encounter, it still claimed the life of someone who holds a badge. A Saw Hunter badge. Crafted long ago at the workshop, attests to the prowess of the hunters of beasts. The workshop is gone, no group recognizes this meaningless badge, except the messengers in the bath, who understand its profundity. Certain things can only be trusted with a hunter in possession of this badge, or so they believe. It's almost like a qualification. And it's not a good qualification by the standards of current hunters. But I do believe Gehrman would have handed out those badges to his hunters. And then it's not that big of a deal, not that big of a beast. But it defeated this early Gehrman hunter. So I suppose I'm not giving it full credit to its power. A 2-ton pig isn't a big deal. I suppose I'm looking at it more like a video game, when in the harsh realities, is it wouldn't really be like that. And I suppose this hunter was escorting this nice gentleman in his tuxedo, maybe to a place of safety. But this hunter could not protect himself or his escort. Okay. I'm actually really happy. I'm actually really excited. I'm turning the music up. Oh, man. Not my favorite boss fight, but by far and away my favorite boss soundtrack. Oh. The blood. It sings to me.
Beasts all over the shop. You'll be one of them, sooner or later.
Gascoigne. Father Gascoigne. But is it father as in... Father Church? Or is it father as in this is the father of the little girl? I would argue it could be either. But he represents the church 100%. What's that smell?
What's that smell?
It's enough to make a man sick.
Oh, it sings to me. It's enough to make a man sick.
That soundtrack. I'm just gonna let it play. Just let it play. Oh. Here it is. The true form of Gascoigne. Oh. Oh, man. At this stage, he starts destroying everything, the environment, the coffins, the gravestones. Made of rock, he smashes them. I need to use the music box. Ha ha ha! Aw, that's too bad. Look, it happened to him. It activated. I was letting the music play. Yeah, you can parry him in that stage. It's actually very easy to parry him in that stage. Oh man, I wanted to listen to the soundtrack and I kind of played it poorly. I should have just run around. I wanted to get the full experience with it. I will die just to do, I don't know, fun stuff, if you know what I mean. At my leisure, it's completely fine. I don't have anything to prove. You know, I beat all the games and I've done challenge runs and stuff. I'm not trying to prove how good I am at this game. If you think I'm good, that's fine. If you think I'm bad, that's fine. But I wanted to use the tiny music box just for the lore, and I kind of did it when I was too close to him, which was my mistake. I don't know if it works multiple times. Wait, wrong button. Did I just die? I did. Alright. Woo. Please. Roll. Okay. Game, please let me up. Oh, we're good. Do, do. Whew, missed all of them. I just want to hit a parry on him. Come on. There you go. Oh, he's down. He's down. So, yeah. I actually struggle more with the fight when I'm using, I struggle more with the fight when I'm using the music box than when I'm not, because it CCs yourself for like 3 seconds. 1, 2, 2.5 to actually activate it. Which is an interesting detail. The fact that it CCs you. And in a fight like that, especially when he's a big wolf and he's jumping at you, I don't know, dude. It's embarrassing to mess up. But it is what it is. By the way, I just got a brooch off the body of a lady near Gascoigne on this this rooftop. There she is. Let's have a look at that brooch. What was that thing that little girl said to us? A woman's bright red brooch, engraved with the name Viola. That's the name of Gascoigne's wife. Huh, why is this Gascoigne wife name right next to Gascoigne? Maybe he killed her, I don't know. Perhaps the jewel is a gift from a hunter, used to change into a droplet blood gem that fortifies any weapon. With the proper workshop tool, various weapons can be fortified. It's good details. Yeah, so the story is quite simple, really. Gascoigne is a hunter from the Holy Church. He is killing quite a lot of men turning into beasts. When we encounter him, he decides that all men could turn into beasts. You're basically all beasts, so I might as well just kill them all. And he ends up killing his wife in his madness. Now, normally the wife, as the girl said, can calm Gascoigne and make him remember who he is and relax and stop that bloodlust by playing that tiny music box, just like I did. But it didn't stop him. It didn't prevent him from killing me. Or, well, yeah, killing me, but continuously attacking me. Well, it's because I made him remember who he is, what he is, and the fact that he just killed his wife, which drove him more mad. Which isn't very good for me, eh? Yeah, so, sorry little girl, found your parents, your dad killed your mother, and I killed your dad. Did I do a good job? Pay me. Blood Gem Workshop Tool. A misplaced workshop tool from the Hunter's Dream. The hunter who retrieves this can fortify weapons by kneading blood gems into them. Blood gems add properties to weapons when used to fortify them, as blood defines an organism. So there you go. One of the hunter tools that we were lacking earlier. And we have a note. The Bergenworth spider hides all manner of rituals and keeps our lost master from us. A terrible shame. It makes my head shudder uncontrollably. Bergenworth spider. Rom. Hides all manners of rituals. Scholars or students of Menzies. Keeps our lost master from us. Which master is that? Murgo. A great one. Anyway, what's it here? Crap, dude. I just realized something. Someone mentioned Josefka. I entirely forgot to go visit... Jesus, you're ugly. I entirely forgot to go visit Josefka. Hello, you disgusting and hideous thing. What is wrong with you? You are not even remotely human-looking. And you're not beast-looking either. There's something different about you.
Hmm? Oh, you must be a hunter. Very sorry. The incense must have masked your scent. Good, good. I've been waiting for one of your ilk. These hunts have everyone all locked up inside, waiting for it to end. It always does, always has, you know, since forever. But it won't end nicely, not this time. Even some folks hiding inside are going bad. The screams of women folk, the stench of blood, the snarls of beasts, none of them's too uncommon now. Yarnum's done for, I tell ya. But if you spot anyone with their wits about them, tell them about this here Erden Chapel. They'll be safe here. The incense wards off the beasts. Spread the word. Tell them to come on over, if you wouldn't mind.
Everyone pronounces Uden differently in this game, which is really annoying for when you want to know how to pronounce the word correctly. But there was this one guy that I watched play this game not too long ago, and he wasn't English, so I can't fault the guy. But he kept calling this place Odin's Chapel. So I'll say it now. I hope that doesn't affect me when I say it, because I don't want to call it Odin, which is completely wrong. Okay, so there's big theories about this character. But what you can say about this character, undisputably, is that he is maybe the only character in this game, the only NPC, that's just genuinely nice. Just genuinely looking out for others. Do note that this chapel is a safe place, like a haven. You can send people here, such as that old woman we're going to go back to and tell her about this place. And this place is just absolutely packed to the brim, up and above, with incense burning cancels and vases. Once again, incense, wards away beasts. So this is the ultimate safe place. These people have just set a little candle thing outside of their house with a small bit of incense that has run out for many of them, as we've encountered, as the night progresses. So they're no longer safe. But this is safe because, my god, they got quite the supply.
I know I shouldn't be asking you, but if you happen upon someone while hunting, tell them about this here Erden Chapel, if they seem worth being told, that is. Oh, and I do sincerely hope they are.
When I first found him, he was so hideous and so suspicious that I didn't trust him at all. Poor guy.
I know I shouldn't be asking you, but if you happen upon someone while hunting, tell them about this here Erden Chapel, if they seem worth... Oh, and I do...
Okay. It's not all empty, though. Take a look at that. Not so innocent after all. Alright, let's go back. He's just so nice. I know. What a great guy. Don't judge a book by its diseased and filthy, ugly cover. Wow, Mikkel, really going in on him. The Hunter Chief Emblem for 10,000. A cloth emblem that belonged to the captain of the church hunters long ago opens the main gate that leads to the round plaza of the great cathedral. The main gate is shut tight on nights of the hunt and could only be opened from the other side with this emblem. In other words, the captain's return and this emblem determined the end of the hunts. Only then were people safe to come outside and the city resume its normal life. What are the stats on the Kirk hammer? One of my favourite weapons. Such a cool design. It's a tombstone and a sword. Trick weapon used by the Healing Church Hunters. Healing Church based weapon. On one side, an easily handled silver sword, and on the other, a giant obtuse stone weapon characterized by a blunt strike and extreme force of impact. The church takes a heavy-handed, merciless stance toward the plague of beasts, an irony not lost upon the wielders of this most symbolic weapon. The church mainly are beasts. Right, so 16 strength required, 10 skill. So we need to level up skill once and get strength up to 16 to make use of this for the time being. Do I really want to do that? Yeah. I kind of want to use it. We do not currently own any gems. But if I break the brooch, which I'm going to do, like the scum I am, rather than give it to the little girl, I get access to the red blood gem. Which normally would be there, right? Oh, here, of course. A droplet type blood gem. It's a blood gem that fortifies weapons that add various properties. Droplet blood gems are special gems that can adapt to various weapons and shapes. The reason this is so cool is because each weapon has like 3 gem slots, and they all require different gems, blood gems. So if it's a radical type, then the radical type blood gem could fit in there. But the beauty of a special item like this, a droplet blood gem, is that it's like liquid. So it goes into the engraving, you know, the gem engraving. And because it's liquid, it will change shape and fit into the engraving. It's great. Created from a bright red brooch, this blood gem strengthens the effect of rallying. A quintessential hunter skill, rallying symbolizes the battle-worn hunter is often the only thing standing after a bloodbath. I love that. I get 2.7% attack and a bit of boost on my rally potential, which is just very, very good early game. Whoops, I'm on the wrong thing. Now we put that in and we get some increase on the damage. How many shards are we currently holding? 8. So it requires it's 16 to get something to +3. Alright, German.
The moon is close. It will be a long hunt tonight. If the beasts loom large and threaten to crush your spirits, seek a holy chalice, as every hunter before you has. A holy chalice will reveal the tomb of the gods, where hunters partake in communion.
Where they use the old blood. Chalices are linked directly to the Chalice Dungeons, of course. These are basically the labyrinths that you find under Yharnam and the previous civilization down there. It's a cool concept, only found in Bloodborne. Unfortunately, I don't believe it was executed very well, but I am a fan of them for many reasons, along with not liking them for many reasons at the same time. I guess hunters would go down there to gather blood and, like it says, communion. And it's our little indication as to where to go next. We need to find wherever this chalice is, but he doesn't really tell us where, or at least he hasn't yet.
Most of the holy chalices lie deep within the tomb of the gods, and the few that found their way to the surface were lost again in the hands of men. But if the old hunter tales remain true, one of the holy chalices is worshipped in the valley hamlet. Yet the town is in disarray. It was burned and abandoned for fear of the scourge. Home now only to beasts. The perfect place for a hunter, wouldn't you say?
You know how the voice acting is just so impactful here? When he's first saying that line about like the chalices where they used to be, and then how very few of these chalices, extremely important things, found their way to the hands of men. It sounded like he was choking up, almost like he was on the cusp of crying. He's so sad about what he's talking about. The fact that the chalices, extremely difficult to get your hands on, extremely rare, relics of the past, have been lost. And he's really sad about that, man. But he knows of one chalice down in Old Yharnam. And we get some information about Old Yharnam too, which is pretty cool. We currently have 8 insight. Previously, you could only activate the insight shop originally at 10 insight. However, you only need 1 now, apparently. Ah, and they sell the pungent blood cocktails. Absolutely be buying them. They now sell Gascoigne's garb, a hunter attire worn by Father Gascoigne, similar to the hunter garb created at the workshop, only these are tainted by pungent beastly stench that eats away at Gascoigne. Father is a title used for clerics in a foreign land, and there is no such rank in the Healing Church. So, that's why I say he's referred to as Father, because he's a dad, and it's like the father storyline. It's kind of like a little... They put that in, I guess, to say, this is the father of the girl that you're looking for. A dingy scarf is a holy shawl and a symbol of the Healing Church, from which Gascoigne would eventually part ways. Find that just on that part. Oh, I'm out of insight. The thing about insight is that it's permanent. Like, the number that you see, the right, I have 1 insight currently, does not represent how much insight I actually have. It's a continuously tallying up number. And then there's the number that's game related. The game related number means, you know, it goes up and down. But your character's insight continues to go up and up and up and up. Irrelevant of the in-game number that you use for purchasing things. I even got the white beard and everything. Looking good.
You needn't concern yourself with me. I'm afraid I'm of little help now. But before I take this...
My first arcane-based weapon, except for the flame, the torch, in a way. The flame sprayer.
I made no use of it, but perhaps you. What afflicted me was incurable, but this town gave me hope. Their strange blood bought me time. I was most fortunate, unharmed by the plague of beasts. I can even die human.
So he came to Yharnam to deal with this thing that he's dealing with. He came to Yharnam because he's dying. He has an illness. And using the blood, the old blood, it's empowered him and kept him alive. But unfortunately, though it's extended his life, it can't stop the infection, and it seems to have caught up with his newfound strength as well. So he does have the beast blood in him. He's not a hunter. He's an outsider like me. But he's been really kind, and I would like to help him if I could.
Don't you worry about me.
I'm worried about you. I love you, pal. Let me help you. It feels bad, man. It feels bad. The Flame Sprayer. A special church weapon. Spits searing flames by using blood-imbibed quicksilver bullets as a special medium. Not the most effective weapon by any stretch, but sometimes a sea of flame is just what the doctor ordered. Besides, the Beast of Yharnam could always use a good cleansing. I love the description on this thing. It's a goddamn flamethrower, guys. And the beauty of it is that you can do blood bullets. Sacrificing blood to get an extra 5 quicksilver bullets. You trade 5 bullets for 1 blood vial, and it's a worthy trade in an arcane build. So, at one point when we leave the clinic from the original transfusion, these doors close and lock behind us, but there is someone behind the door that will talk to us. You can kind of see her through this gap.
Oh, well, hello. Splendid. Let me ask you a small kindness. You're soon off to hunt, I presume? Then, if you find any survivors, tell them to seek Yusefka's clinic. Upon my Hippocratic oath, if they are yet human, I will look after them. Perhaps even cure them. This sickness, these beasts, they are not to be feared. This time the night is long. I may be trapped here, but I should do something to help. I'll even offer a reward for your cooperation. Tempted? Well, off you go then.
Okay, I'm not actually upset that I messed up. I've never heard that opening dialogue where she introduces herself to you like, oh, hi, maybe you'll do something nice for me, pal. She's trying to get me to send people here as if it's a safe haven, but it's very obvious that she desires greatly people here. She wants them here. Not like, there's people out there, we need to help them, but like, I need people in here. I need it kind of deal, kind of vibe. It's creepy. It's very creepy.
Are you out on the hunt? Then I'm very sorry, but I cannot open this door. I am Yusefka. The patients here in my clinic must not be exposed to infection. I know that you hunt for us, for our town, but I'm sorry. Please, this is all that I can do. Now, go. And good hunting. Are you still in need of something? But I have nothing more to offer. Please, try to understand my position. I can only pray for a fruitful hunt.
She can't help you, but she does give you a vial of her blood, which is an extremely powerful healing resource, and she says she'll give you more if you come back later, so she helps you despite being very limited in the way that she can do it. And what's very important is that her voice is originally this person you meet, okay, this is Yusefka, then you come back, and suddenly her voice is radically changed, and the way she's talking is very different, and her personality is very different. Almost like she's a different person. But yet she's talking to you as if she is Yusefka. Anyway, That's now a safe haven for people we can send them to. Just like Uden Chapel. Let's go speak to the little girl. We found your mother and your dad. Bad news about that. Also, I'm wearing your dad's clothes. I hope you don't mind.
Hello, Mr. Hunter.
Do you recognize me as your dad? I look kind of like him. No, I can't find your mum, sorry. No idea where she's at. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I can wait. But isn't there something I can do? Maybe Mum and Dad are stuck out there, waiting for me to come and find them. What do you think, Mr. Hunter?
No. 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 So, withhold the information. She's gonna go out on her own. Josefka's clinic. I don't trust her. Uden Chapel's safe. You should go there. Sorry, little girl. Why don't you just let me escort you? It's so sad that you can't prevent this.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Mr. Hunter. I love you almost as much as Mum and Dad. And Granddad.
First reference of Granddad there. Hendrik, I believe his name was.
Thank you, Mr. Hunter. I love you almost as much as Mum and Dad. And Granddad.
Alright, there you go. She's going to try and get to the clinic, but I wish I could help her. It is really lame I can't escort her. Unfortunately, she's going to try that journey on her own anyway. She probably knows that place is a safe haven for different reasons. And then you also have Josefka's clinic. I've never sent her to Josefka's clinic. I'm not sure if she makes that. I'd actually like to Google that. Is it possible to send her to Josefka's clinic and then find her later, let's say? That would be sad. That would be really sad. Alright, you crazy old woman. You mean lady.
Now what is it now? Are much better ways to pass the time. Unless you found me a nice safe place.
I actually have. I'm going to send you to Josefka's clinic, you hag. No, I want to see story.
Well, what do you know? An outsider worth a lick of salt. Well, don't just stand there. Don't you have work to do? Go slit some throats. Get this mess done with.
Jeez. Okay, so she actually said, you know, you're worth something. You're alright. Although, you need to keep proving it. Go kill a beast, you scrub. I mean, damn.
Oh, enough with you. Trot along. Chop, chop.
You're so mean. She hates us because we're an outsider. She's just like the other Yarnamites. They think we're the reason the curse is here. Yeah, I think that's probably a good place to leave it. We've started to progress Josefka's storyline. We've progressed the little girl storyline. We've defeated 2 bosses. Our character is making his way to actually becoming more arcane based. Let's do something about the fashion. The helmet's great. Alright, that's looking good. Nice place to start. I'm going to be working on my Moonlight Greatsword build, the Arcane build, doing these things to maximize how much I wreck each and every goddamn boss. It's going to be great. Alchemy, thanks to £1. Not top D anymore, Martin. Oh, God. And, oh, yeah, I'm going to look at the bunny pictures, don't worry. Thanks for the support today, guys. Thanks for everything. I'll be back tomorrow, Wednesday, 6 PM BST, because now we're in British summertime, I believe. Check the schedule thing down below to know when that is. And otherwise, thanks so much for support. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.